how to pay attention? I mean, really pay attention. I think you're probably thinking, Lucy, for goodness sake, don't we all know how to pay attention and what paying attention means? Well, maybe. You see, really paying attention is not about what you notice or how much you notice. It is quite simply that you notice. And yes, we do know what it means to pay attention in this transactional consciousness that we live in. In other words, in the system of something for something. For example, if I give something my attention, if I pay attention, if I pay with my attention, I expect to get something in return. Such as, you might ask, well, such as if I paid attention to you, I would hope you'd pay attention to me. Or if I paid attention to what the government was doing, I'd be in a better position to decide whether to vote them in again or not. Or if I paid attention to the changes in my body, I might be able to do something to either prevent those changes if I don't like them, or encourage those changes if I do like them. You see, there's always a payoff. I don't do something for nothing. I always do something for something. And it's the same with paying attention. I pay attention because there's a payoff. We're used to that. That's the unwritten agreement that operates in this three-dimensional world. And we'd be silly to ignore it. But, yeah, there's that famous but again. Is it possible to pay attention for no other reason than to pay attention? Okay, I think I know what you're thinking. Come on, Luz, stop playing games. There's always a reason. You may not say it out loud, but you know there's a reason. And yes, you're right. You're absolutely right. There is a reason. In fact, there are many reasons. When you really pay attention, but not for the usual reasons like wanting to introspect, wanting to understand, wanting to discover, wanting to change, wanting to find a solution, wanting to fix something, wanting to describe something, wanting to remember something, wanting to train our mind in some way. These are all of the typical reasons why we pay attention. But when we really pay attention for the sole purpose of paying attention, leaving behind all other conscious or hidden agendas or motivations, what happens as an inevitable, natural and spontaneous byproduct is quite extraordinary. It's like giving our entire body-mind a complete reboot so that you can start afresh. Now, this is such a useful thing, especially for those of us who are intentionally creating stuff such as music or writing or art or dance, cooking or gardening, you know? It clears out all the clutter that's been building up as we've been going through our work, and leaves in its place, in the place of all that clutter, a fresh, clean slate on which to begin again or to continue fresh. But there's more to it. When you really pay attention, you're no longer judging. You're no longer comparing or remembering or wondering or analyzing or fixing or labeling or describing, you know? All those preoccupations. It's a kind of attention. And this is a beautiful one. It's the kind of attention that a little baby, you know, an infant in its cot, the kind of attention that little baby, that infant gives its surroundings. Have you ever watched them? Just look at what's around them. And by the way, you can bet they're not just looking, they're also taking in smells and sounds and textures, and whatever tastes are in their mouth. So have you ever watched that? And if you have, it might occur to you that they're just simply paying attention, being with whatever there is in their environment. They have no memory of anything, no name for anything, no ideas about anything, no preferences and no attachments, no aversions, no resistance of any kind. They just look, taste, smell, touch, see, feel at whatever is there. If something moves, they just watch it. They're not trying to figure it out. That kind of baby mind, that infant mind, is so open and so full of readily accessible potential and possibilities because there's nothing in the way. And that is why babies are able to perform incredible feats, such as walking and talking and playing and so on. Things that they've never had to learn as such. It's just their potential, the expression of what is already innate and possible within them. Know what I mean? Now imagine if you had that kind of mind, and you do. And imagine if you could pay attention in the same way that the baby does. And you can. Not only would you clear your mind of all the clutter, and so have a fresh mind in its place, your body too will thank you for it, because your body will be able to reset to its naturally calm, peaceful, trauma-free state. In other words, its most healthful state. Some people would describe this state as the state of deep relaxation, and it is. But it's not a passive state. It's an alert and attentive state of relaxation. Can you imagine that? Probably not. It's not something that's easy to imagine, but I tell you what is easier to do is to just do it. So I'm going to guide you into a little experience of really paying attention. And you're going to experience, as we go through this, you're going to experience how powerful, how incredibly powerful really paying attention is. You'll see that when you really pay attention to anything, it has a miraculous healing effect, because you are finally giving your body-mind a complete break from its ongoing preoccupations and its painful memories. You are resetting it to its original state, so to speak, the original mind, if you like, or beginner's mind, or as I like to think of it, because it evokes such a beautiful image in my mind. You're resetting it to a baby's mind, pure innocence, pure, limitless openness and possibilities. No resistance. So this exercise that I'm going to take you through can be used to really pay attention to anything. For example, something that you're working on, say a song you're writing, or a skill that you're trying to learn, such as, I don't know, playing the guitar, skateboarding, learning a new piece of software, or an old wound, whether it's a physical or emotional wound that has not healed, you can use this skill of really paying attention to anything at all. So I'm going to now take you through this little exercise. And I want you to now pick something that you'd like to use for this exercise. Anything at all. And I've given you some examples, like a new skill or a new activity or an activity that you're, routinely engaged in, but maybe find yourself stuck for a little bit, a particular problem that you might have. Or, as I said, also a wound, a physical or emotional wound, some health condition in your body, for example. So let me give you a few moments to just think of something, bring something to mind. Okay? Good. Now, make sure you're somewhere where you can be undisturbed for a few minutes. Get into a comfortable position. Keep your back straight without any strain. And you can help yourself to get into this comfortable position by closing your eyes and breathing deeply, gently, and slowly a few times. And it always helps to set yourself an intention. When we do any of these meditations that I guide, I always encourage people to set themselves an intention. And I'm going to suggest an intention for this meditation, for this little journey that we're going on. And the intention is that you give yourself complete freedom to really pay attention, just like a baby. That you are willing to let all other preoccupations and concerns just lay quiet for now. Now, don't try and struggle to do this. All you need at this point is your willingness. You don't have to figure out how to make it happen. Just offer your willingness. That's all that is needed. Okay? So just take a moment to do that. Okay, so whatever you chose to pay attention to, bring that thing to mind. Place it on the screen of your mind. If it's a skill, see yourself or feel yourself. If you find it hard to visualize, just feel yourself working on this skill. If it's a piece of writing that you're trying to do, visualize yourself writing. Or if you've been stuck, visualize the blank page that you haven't yet put any words on, or the blank screen. If it's a physical wound or an emotional hurt, let the image of it or the feelings of it come to mind and arise in your body. Or you could simply pay attention to my voice. Now, pay attention to my voice means just listen to it. Don't get preoccupied with understanding or making sense or checking if you agree or disagree. None of that. Just pay attention to the voice. And in the same way with any of the other choices you might have made. And all you want to do is watch it like a baby watching the things that are around it. And it might help to first bring an image of that baby on your mind screen. And just watch it for a bit, and as you do, give yourself permission to get into that same feeling state of simply watching, of simply paying attention. You have no further interest in this than to watch. You're not trying to fix anything. You're not trying to understand anything. You're not trying to describe anything. You're not trying to remember or forget, to forgive or love, or explain or improve. None of those things matter. You're just like the baby, watching, just watching. Now your conditioned mind will try, as it does, as its habit, it will try to understand or fix or describe or heal or analyze. Just notice it, and then become the baby again. And repeat this as often as you need to. Smile. Don't struggle at this. Just allow it to happen. And with your smiling permission, it will happen. Trust it. If you need to, take a deep breath each time you need to reset your attention to the baby's attention. Remember, you're not looking for answers here. You're not seeking enlightenment. You're not seeking calm or peace or joy or love. You're simply really paying attention to what is. Now I'm going to stay quiet for a couple of minutes, and then I'll gently call you back into our shared space. Now, before we come out of this state, take a moment to allow gratitude to fill your body-mind. Don't force it. Simply allow it. And then, when you're ready, open your eyes if you wish to, and join me again. So, how was that experience for you? Did you feel you succeeded or failed? Did you feel it was a waste of time? Do you think you'll probably do this again and again, or maybe never do it ever again? Now, I'll admit, many people find this hard and boring. And that's because our minds are so conditioned to activity, dynamic activity, thinking, analyzing, figuring out, fixing, and so on. So they'd prefer the kind of meditative experience that's more dynamic, with more dynamic visualization, like walking through an enchanted forest, or imagining their body floating in another dimension, or visualizing their ideal life. And all these truly are wonderful ways of opening the mind to new experiences and new possibilities, and they can and often do offer the benefit of relaxation, but to the extent that they are filling your mind with more stuff rather than cutting through, penetrating all the stuff that's already there, they don't offer you that benefit of seeing right into the heart, into the core of whatever it is that you choose to give your attention to. And that is an important difference, and it is a difference that has deep and profound benefits. I'll talk more about this in my next podcast, but briefly, the benefits are really miraculous because it liberates you from the limitations and resistances that your mind, especially your subconscious mind, puts in the way of your progress, whatever and wherever that progress is that you're trying to make, whether it's in skill acquisition, in artistic development, or in physical or emotional healing. In other words, any kind of problem solving. By really paying attention, you can get right to the heart of it. And by that, I don't necessarily mean a solution in the way we think of it, but more a state of consciousness that is truly liberating. As I said, I'll talk more about this in my next podcast. In the meantime, I want to wish you much love, and may your heart beat with the rhythms of peace. Hey everybody, I know it's so easy to forget, I do it myself so often, but please, if you did like this video, do hit the like button, do subscribe, do share, and most of all, please leave a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thank you so much.